Continuamos con noticias del espacio en AJAU, corazón del cielo, corazón de la Tierra. En el siguiente servicio, los astronautas de la Estación Espacial Internacional responden preguntas sobre cómo es vivir en el espacio.
Hello everybody.
Hola a todos, soy el astronauta de la Agencia Espacial Europea, Luca Parmitano, vuestro corresponsal espacial, y estoy aquí con el astronauta de la NASA, Drew Morgan. Hemos estado muy ocupados estas últimas semanas, ¿no es cierto, Drew? Bueno, como siempre hemos tenido mucho trabajo. Quiero resaltar en especial 2 salidas al espacio para reparar el espectrómetro magnético alfa. Además de esas 2 salidas al exterior en apenas 8 días, la tripulación ha tenido que proseguir con las diversas tareas científicas. Sí, además se ha instalado un sistema de incubación de biología celular que nos llevó varios días y hemos pasado mucho tiempo estudiando cómo controlar los datos de dicha incubadora. También he estado trabajando en el módulo experimental japonés que lleva un cargamento específico. Hablemos del montaje del sistema de recuperación de agua WRS. En la Estación Espacial recuperamos el 95% del agua que tenemos a bordo. Reciclamos nuestra orina y la humedad a bordo de la Estación Espacial. Los japoneses tienen un experimento que planea hacer algo similar para reciclar aún más agua y aumentar las capacidades. Y probablemente con esto mejoremos el diseño en el futuro, pues necesitamos depósitos más pequeños para realizar viajes de ida y vuelta desde otros lugares. Hasta aquí nuestra crónica espacial. Gracias por seguirnos. Nos vemos. Hasta la próxima.
The next question comes from @BrunoAlves1670. Wow, this guy is old. How do you keep yourselves How do you keep yourselves psychologically healthy in space? I would say that the first thing is have a sense of humor, because this is, whether or not we perceive it or we are aware of it, it is a high stress environment. So you need to have a sense of humor. Having a good friend on board really helps. We talk about things that happen and how our day has gone and the things that frustrate us, and just talking about it, just being able to share the experience really makes our day a whole lot better. We also have the possibility to talk to the ground quite a bit. As a matter of fact, every time we have satellite communication with the ground, and if we are free, we can make phone calls to the ground. We can call our family, we can call friends, and that is a huge help. Just like you do on Earth, we have several ways of pastimes that we can do as a crew, including playing horrible music and having meals together as a crew of 6. We always have something to look forward to. We have great interesting activities, spacewalks, vehicle surviving with new science. So I think that just the activities that we do are already a great way to keep really stable and healthy. But the best thing is really the communication with the crew, among the crew and with the ground.
El primer vuelo del programa Artemis, un proyecto conjunto entre Estados Unidos y Europa, llevará a los humanos a la Luna otra vez en muy poco tiempo.
50 years after humans first walked on the moon, NASA is planning to return, with ESA as an integral partner. This silver capsule is Orion, the crew module, and below it is the European Service Module, or ESM, the European element that will make the journey possible. Orion and ESM are at the Glenn Research Center's Plum Brook Station in Ohio, USA, where they're undergoing a series of tests in readiness for their upcoming space flight.
We put it in the world's largest space simulation chamber. We pump all the air out of it, and then we give it the cold background of space, and we hit it with hot in certain areas to simulate being on orbit, no air, In the sun, very, very hot. In the shade, very, very cold. And then we hit it with radio frequency waves. So we simulate, for example, sitting on top of the rocket, on the pad, it gets pinged with radar, right, as it's sitting there. We run all the electrical systems, make sure everything continues to work despite being hit with these radio frequencies.
The Orion crew capsule was developed by NASA, who entrusted ESA with creating a service module to propel and power it, as well as providing life support. The ESM's technology builds on systems used in ESA's automated transfer vehicle, which ferried supplies to the International Space Station between 2008 and 2014.
It was described as being derived from the ATV on various aspects of avionics components. Of course, the function is different than ATV itself. It provides thrust from the propulsion system. It provides commodities for the crew, such as water, nitrogen. It provides all of the temperature control, so to keep the crew in good environments. It provides the electronic equipment as well.
The tests in Plumbrook Station will take 2 months, after which the lunar spacecraft will be transported back to Kennedy Space Center to meet its launcher, the newly developed Space Launch System, or SLS. Following ESA's recent Space 19+ ministerial conference in Seville, Spain, 4 European service modules have been budgeted for. The first uncrewed mission, Artemis 1, will launch the spacecraft into an elliptical orbit around the Moon.
Artemis 1's success is very critical. We want this mission to be as perfect as it possibly can be. We want it to achieve all of its goals. We want everything to be perfectly safe because we want to make sure we say, yes, we are okay to launch people on the second Artemis.
Named after the Greek god Apollo's twin sister, the Artemis program incorporates a series of progressively complex flights for Orion and ESM. The third Artemis mission will put humans on the Moon for the first time since 1972. A dream come true for everyone working on this ambitious program.
It's been a very long design phase and a lot of development, build-up of hardware, integration, assembly, testing. So it's a very challenging program, of course, but it is a big achievement, I believe.
After the tests at Plumbrook have been completed, Artemis 1 will be qualified for flight and ready to begin the bold space program that will see astronauts revisit our Moon.
Agradecemos sus mensajes por redes y los esperamos en la próxima edición de AJAU, Corazón del Cielo, Corazón de la Tierra.